Hey guys, how you all doing? We're down at Palo Olimpico, ready for semi-final one. First of all, I can't believe we're already more than halfway through the week. Guys, it's been a great experience so far though.
Yeah, totally. It's been really exciting, and now we finally are seeing the action. It's time to see who's going to be qualifying for the final.
Yeah, and we've got the hardest job of trying to predict who is going to qualify. I never know whether we get this very right or very wrong, but I mean, we're going to go through all of the songs and let you guys know whether we think they're going to qualify. And these are our personal choices, so it will be a bit of a mixed bag. And Clara, as always, you've got the list, and we're going to start with you and Albania.
I think Albania is going in. It's qualifying. I think it's a perfect eye opener, a perfect show starter. It's there's so much energy. There's choreo, there's lights, there's effects, there's Ronella, and there's a lot of energy put into. I think it's gonna qualify.
Yeah, for me, this is a great opener to the show. It's kind of epic. Ronella looks beautiful on stage. I know there's been drama about kind of the outfits and the choreography, and I hope that hasn't overshadowed actually what a great song and a great direction this is for Albania. And I can see this is a qualifier for me.
Do you know what? This was a qualifier for me, but this morning when I was looking at the whole list of semi-final one participants, I was like, is this really going to make it? Because I had so many countries on my list that I was convinced were going to qualify, and Albania was kind of like on the fence for me. And so now I'm not so sure if it's going to qualify or not. I want it to, but now I've kind of doubted myself.
Oh, okay, Stu.
In a similar way to Jess, there was a period of time where I was doubting it when we saw the second rehearsal. But I think after watching the jury show yesterday, I do feel more confident about it qualifying. It's much tighter than it was during the rehearsals, and there's something that's just really magnetic about her, the entire presence that they have on the stage, and it looks pretty good as well. So I'm leaning much towards a yes. It could maybe just fall short.
There we go. And now on to the boys, Latvia. Go on, Jess.
I mean, for me, this is a sure qualifier. The whole performance is very fun and very catchy and just gives you kind of good vibes, in my opinion. And they come across as great on stage, I think. And I think this is a type of song and performance that Europe is looking for right now with everything that's been going on in the world. So for me, I have no doubts that this will be in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, this is on the borderline qualifier. I have them down on my list as qualifying because I'm a little bit biased and I want Latvia to do well. But if it qualifies, which I think it will, it's deserved. It's fun. It's funky. It follows Ronella. It follows a bang opening, and it continues lifting the show up. And it's just so fun and colorful and eye-catchy. Yeah, I like it.
I feel like for me, if for whatever reason the audience doesn't quite gravitate to Ronella, then this has a chance. But I'm actually leaning much more towards a no. I think that the vibe that this gives off is a bit off-putting, and I think that despite the great musicality that's behind this, I do think that maybe the juries are not going to appreciate it quite a bit as much. And then because it's so early in the running order, I do have to wonder whether or not it's going to get that, enough televote support in order to make it through.
Yes, I mean, this is a televote song, as you say. Who knows how juries, whether they're going to support this in any way or not. I actually came into this thinking this was a surefire non-qualifier. But after seeing the rehearsals and just how much fun and energy they have on stage, I think this is kind of the pick-me-up that we need. And we have got another one coming later in this show with Moldova. So I'm kind of hoping that they don't cancel each other out in a way. But I actually have this down as a borderline qualifier now. Moving on to
Lithuania.
Ooh.
Boo! It's a yes from me. I think it's so different to everything we have on the semi-final, and she's so hypnotic and has such a magnetic presence that she will have personally no problem qualifying, I would say.
It's a should qualify for me. It really, really should. It's very classy. She's super talented. She's, much like Ronella, but in a different way, very magnetic with her performance. I guess the doubt that I have is just the kind of song that it is. I have to wonder if maybe it's a bit too quirky for Eurovision. And I mean, not that we don't see quirky entries at Eurovision, but because it's kind of mid-tempo and, not the typical Eurovision song and so early in the running order, I guess I wonder whether or not the televote is going to get behind it as much as it needs to. Maybe it could get through on jury points.
Yeah, and I have to say I'm with you on this. I really, 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 really want this song to go through, but I also wonder whether it's some people aren't going to get it. It's such a classy song. I love the whole kind of the vintage styling, the style of the song, the way she's recorded it, the boo, everything about this song I love, and everything about her I love. But I just wonder whether everyone is going to get it, and if it does get through, I think it will be because of juries rather than televotes. Maybe people just need a little bit more time. I mean, if it does go through, maybe once people have, because it was a grower for me from the start. I did, I wasn't all in for the song in the beginning, and then it grew and grew and grew. So maybe with the second performance in the final, if she does get through, maybe people will have had time to kind of get used to it. But yeah, I really hope this goes through. But if I had to put it in a list, it would be like number 11 on my list, because I'm not sure everyone is going to get it.
Yeah, it's a harsh reality of Eurovision, right? Like sometimes there's something that's just so well done on its own, but whether or not it's going to have the appeal that it needs is another thing.
Yes.
For me, I do see this qualifying. I think it's different enough and quirky enough to grab people's attention, and different to anything else in the semi-final. And her kind of stage presence as well, I think is going to get her through.
Yeah, Jess. I always listen to Jess because she always does these predictions so well.
Yeah, but I remember that when the song came out a few weeks later, you and I had a conversation saying, you know what song has been going on, or the song we've been listening to the most? And it was Lithuania for both of us.
Yeah, and this is what we love about Eurovision, because it brings us these great songs, and it's definitely going to be a song that I'm listening to. But this is where I get stuck now, because who's fourth on our list?
Switzerland.
Ooh, Switzerland.
So before seeing the rehearsals, I actually felt pretty strongly about this qualifying. Now, seeing the visual choices that have been made, I do feel like it's a bit too cold for the song. And I get that it is a sentimental and quite a sad song, but I don't feel like it fits the actual sound that it brings with the instrumentation. As people have kind of described, it's almost like a John Lewis Christmas ad, right?
Yeah.
And I actually feel like having something that was not necessarily bright, but warmer and a little bit more colorful, like we saw in the video, and having that contrast of it being a sad song might actually work better for this. But in my case, I find it's a bit too literal and just not exciting enough as a song on its own. So I don't think this is going through.
I think Switzerland's really going to struggle to qualify. I think that the song is a good song and Marius performs it well, but the staging for me is a bit of a letdown, and there's not a lot happening on stage, and I think it's going to struggle to be remembered amongst the semi-final lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I have this down as a non-qualifier. The song is a nice song. Marius is a great singer with a really unique voice and a nice tone to his voice, but there's just something missing in the whole package for me on this one. It's not a song that I've been so excited to see performed on stage. It's not really a song that I've been excited about. So, sorry Switzerland, you did great last year, but I think you will struggle to qualify this year.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, especially with Jess. It's also too literal, as you have said, and I'm not feeling sad songs at this moment. And there's a lot of heartbreak imagery and sad, and like the crying boy, as he described himself. I'm just not here for it, sorry. But it's an elegant song and his vocals are amazing. It's just like not the mood I'm in at the moment.
Yeah. Who's next?
Slovenia, LPS. I have this as a non-qualifier, but I can see the appeal behind it. It's just the singer that's expressing things, and the rest of the band is a little bit on their own world. It is very elegant. I like what people have said on the internet, that it feels like a high school dance. But because it feels like a high school dance, I would be up for something more mature.
Yeah, for me, if there's going to be a surprise qualifier this year, Slovenia will be it. I really like what they're doing. I don't have it down as a qualifier at the moment, but again, it's a song that I've warmed to, and I do really like the guys and kind of what they're doing, and it's kind of cool in a uncool way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I do love what they're doing. The song's catchy, but it's not going to be for everyone. So I do have this down as a non-qualifier, but could be a surprise tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want this song to qualify, I just don't see it happening. I think, like the band members all seem very charming on stage. They seem kind of like cool as well. They've got this great kind of funky tune going on, but I just feel like it will fall just short of making the top 10.
I'd say if there's one thing that this song has going for itself, I mean, there are a few things, but the best thing that it has going for itself is that it does bring an energy that it kind of drops away after Lithuania and Switzerland. So, maybe if people resonate with that, then this could go through. But I, like you guys, I do see it as, unfortunately, a non-qualifier, despite the fact that I love this song. I jam out to this song all the time. And even the story behind it about how it's kind of meta. They're in the beginning singing about themselves as a band. I really like these guys. They're like, to me, the music nerds from school who just are so into music and are really, really brilliant. But yeah, I would love to see this in the final. Mamo Stefania. Yeah, this is going through. It's a very powerful performance. This song has been loved for a very long time, and one that I just keep wanting to watch it more and more and more. And yeah, we're seeing Ukraine in the final.
Yeah, for me, this song has everything going for it. The song itself is brilliant. The staging is the way they've done the colours and the graphics is very clever. It's very kind of eye-catching. The song is very catchy for your ears. So for me, it's a no-brainer that this is going to qualify and possibly semi-final one winner.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say about this? I haven't said already. I freaking love this. When I watched the rehearsal, the jury show performance last night, it sounded to me like a studio version of the song. So everything has kind of fallen into place in terms of this performance, and possible semi-final one winner tonight, as it should be.
Yes, I agree. And what I like about they have very good opening shots. The rap part has a dynamism and a speed that the rapper can actually do it very well with his body language, and the camera really captures it very swiftly. So I think it has everything going on in its favor.
And that is the most beautiful dog over there. Who's next?
Bulgaria.
All right, well, I'm going to start with this one because I was actually pleasantly surprised by what I saw yesterday. You guys know how much I love pyro. There's so much pyro in this. The vocals were on point. The performance was enjoyable to watch. I don't have it down as a qualifier still, but I think a lot of people had this in last place. I think maybe it won't end up in last place.
I think that's possible as well, because apart from the beginning, which I find really cheesy with the split screen that comes open, the rest of it looks good. It looks as it should. And from a performance point of view, as far as their technique goes, yeah, they're doing justice to the song. Really, the biggest issue is the song itself, and that's been, this was the first song that we had this year, and the fanfare has been really, really muted for it. So, I do not see this really having enough of an impact. It's a bit of a watered down rock song, so I don't think that people are really going to love it that much. Certainly not the juries.
Yeah, for me, I would have to agree. I feel like the staging is better than the song, and if it was just based on staging alone, I would qualify this song. But when you add the song into it as well, although they're performing it well, the song for me is not quite up to scratch, and I feel like there's better kind of rock songs in the semi.
For me, it would be a surprise qualifier. I don't have it down as a qualifier myself, but I could see the appeal now, like the metalheads going to it, because I think is it the only rock song we have that's actually rock?
You could put Moldova in that category. Yeah.
I will not put Moldova in that category because that's a different kind of funky rock.
And Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of rock. Like the hardcore rock fans will go for this one because they also have the classic rock look, I would say. But the staging is very well done. I think the staging is distracting. It could be distracting enough to gather the votes that they need. But as a song itself, it's not my favorite. So I have it down as a non-qualifier.
And who's next on our list?
The Netherlands. Steen, yeah. It's obviously yes. It's a big yes from me. It's what you said it, I think, yesterday in the live chat. It's very difficult. It's even more difficult than it seems to make a simple staging effective. So I think this is the case. I love what she said on your interview, that she was trying to tell the story through her stomach, her body, her outfit, and it really works. She connects very well with the audience through the camera. The last 30 seconds, it what really sells it to me, where it's just her and her raw emotion. I think there's an artistry in that moment.
Yeah, and this is, again, I know we say it a lot, but this is why sometimes don't pay too much attention to rehearsals. I know there was a lot of Dutch fans that had been a bit concerned about some of the feedback they'd heard about the second rehearsal. It all came together perfectly for me last night. Yes, it's simple staging, but it's so effective and so perfect for this song. Her vocals are on point. She looks amazing. She's just bringing something different to Eurovision. So yes, this is going through, and it will be high up with the juries especially, and I think it'll pick up a lot of televotes.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw the rehearsal, I was a little bit worried because I felt a little bit underwhelmed by what was happening on stage. But as the rehearsals have gone on and I've seen her jury performance, I think now she definitely has what it takes to qualify. The song is just pure class, in my opinion, and the staging does reflect the song, I think, as well. And like you said before, I think juries are going to love this song.
Yeah, I echo that exactly. I too was also really concerned when we saw this in the rehearsal, but after seeing the jury show yesterday, I do feel like it came together a little bit more. Well, considerably more. I am still wanting a little bit more visually, but I think it's enough. And the very last moment of the song, when you can really hear the emotion in her voice, it is really, really touching. So I think that this is going through.
Moldova, guys.
Oh, you spoke about the Netherlands already. Sorry, I'm getting confused. There's lots of people kind of starting to gather around us. I'm losing my thing.
I know, we've had so many cameras pointed at us. We're like, you guys know we're not
I
performing.
literally felt famous for a second there. Oh, Moldova. Oh, Moldova. Can I start with Moldova?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I love this. If this doesn't go through, I'm going to throw something. This is so much fun. It's similar to Latvia, and it's exactly the pick-me-up that we need. But I think people might resonate more with. I think people might move more to Moldova than Latvia because it's just so much fun. They've got the colours on the stage right. I always get the name wrong. Adahov brothers. They just look so cool in their trousers. They're just having so much fun on stage, and when we were watching the jury show last night.
Yeah.
We were kind of saying to each other, hasn't it been 3 minutes already? Because the song just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. But yeah, it's just and everyone's clapping along. It's going to go down so well in the arena. I think people at home are going to love this. I can see people in the UK picking up their phones to vote for this. And for me, this is a surefire qualifier. And I think it's because we won in the final.
Yeah, for me this is a qualifier for sure. They're bringing the fun, they're bringing the folk, mixing folk and rock at the same time. It's something very interestingly done. It's been done very interestingly, and it's really an earworm, and everyone can chant to hey ho, let's go folklore and rock and roll, and put all of the accent that we can do. So it's fantastic. I like it. It's a yes for me.
As much as I love the song,
Don't say yes, don't say it.
I mean, it's a great song in my opinion. It's a great kind of pick-me-up, as you said before. It's one that's going to get people on their feet. It's going to put them in a good mood. However, I am a little bit underwhelmed by the staging. I think I would like to see more happening rather than them just stood there in a line playing their instruments and singing. So for that reason, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to qualify. I would love it to, but I think it's going to rely on televote more than anything.
I'm scared to go to you, Stu.
You should be. So to me, I feel like it'll be either Latvia or Moldova that go through, not both of them. This one might have a bit of a better chance for having that unique, traditional element to it. But I agree with Jess as far as the staging goes. To me, this is one of the least aesthetically pleasing stagings that we have. Despite all the color that it has, it doesn't work in my view. And wardrobe is really kind of all over the place. It's not comfortable to watch, I find. So I don't know what effect that's going to have. Also, I do feel like, musically speaking, the juries are not going to gravitate towards this. So in order for it to get through, it's going to have a big televote support, which I think could happen. But at the moment, I'm like, this really could go either way.
And of course, we can't forget the fact that Romania's not in this semi-final either, so they are losing. They're not, are they? No, they're not. So they are losing. They are losing some support there. But yeah, who's next?
Portugal with Saudade.
Qualify.
Yeah, qualifying, no doubt about it.
Qualifying, and I wouldn't have said that like months ago. I love this song, but I was concerned because we have so many lower energy songs. But this just looks so beautiful. They've done all the right choices with this, with the really soft colors, the smoke, them standing in a circle. It really looks like they're paying tribute to Maru's grandfather, and they've like kind of come together to show support. It is so beautiful. This is going through.
Yeah, everything works perfectly with this.
Yeah, I have it down as a qualifier too. It's just so ethereal, oniric. It flows really, really nice. I like it very much. The next song is Croatia. And I can start with it. It's a no from me because I think that even if I love the storytelling of this song and I am fascinated by good storytelling in lyrics, I just think that the staging is very untidy and clear. There's too many things happening that I don't see a connection. Among them, like even what she's wearing, she should be telling a story also with what she's wearing, and that dress is not connected anyhow with what she's singing about or the rest of the staging that's going on around her. So like I think individually everything works individually, but put all together it doesn't work.
Exactly that. It's just the pieces just aren't coming together for me. I've not always been the hugest fan of the song. I feel like it's got lost among some of the other songs that we have this year. And every year I'm willing Croatia to do well, but I really, whilst I appreciate everything that she's doing and she's involved, she's a songwriter, she's a young artist, it's just not working for me. I find the choreography a bit distracting. The colours on stage just don't come together for me, and yeah, I think this needed amazing staging to be able to qualify, and I don't believe that we've got that. So I'm sorry, Croatia, but it's a non-qualifier for me this year. But maybe I'll be wrong.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with both you and Clara. Whilst it is a very beautiful song and Mia performs it very well on stage, I feel like the staging doesn't quite match the song, and with the dancers and what she's wearing, there's a bit of a mismatch that doesn't work in my opinion. And I feel like there are much stronger songs in this semi-final that the casual viewer will remember more. So I'm leaning more towards a non-qualification for this.
I'm going to go against the grain and say that I feel like this is qualifying. Ooh. Yeah. I disagree about a lot of things. I disagree about how the dancers are distracting. I think that they've actually, for once, integrated a storytelling where you have interpretive dance on happening in one part, but that the singer actually interacts with it. Because often what we see is the singer is separate from it, and then they just kind of cut away to the dancers, and then it's like that back and forth. But Mia brings herself into it. You can very clearly get an idea of which characters each of the dancers play. And I'm not too fussy about the wardrobe personally, but I mean, I tend to not be too fussy about
wardrobe. You look great in that dress, Stu.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We'll try it on afterwards. We'll see. But I feel like this has appeal. This, as a lot of people have made comparisons to Taylor Swift and like favorable comparisons, I think that that's enough to draw in some televote score. And I think that the juries will also like it too. To me, it's very elegant. Maybe it's not perfect, but I feel pretty good about it.
Denmark.
We'll let you start with Denmark. Surprise us again.
Well, so this one's really on the fence for me. I feel like this is kind of what Denmark does. They send more or less inoffensive songs, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And with this one, like, if it were up to me, it would be a non-qualifier because it's not anything new musically. It's quite ordinary, but they have great energy, and the colors are very nice. The color solids, and even the sun, which is not functional, conveniently looks exactly like a record.
Is the sun not functional? No one's told us that.
I think that it's not working as it's supposed to be. But anyway,
get that quiet.
Yeah, I know. Haven't heard about it. Anyway, borderline for me, leaning towards non-qualifier.
I would probably be leaning more towards non-qualification. No, actually, I think I'm on the fence with this one. I mean, in my opinion, it's a solid rock song, but it's maybe not the strongest song in the semi. They perform very well. I think the staging is good and a typical rock song ballad staging, but I'm on the fence.
Yeah, for me it's a non-qualifier. I don't know, because I should like this. This is an Andy kind of song, I feel, but there's just something missing for me. I'm not really gelling with kind of the 70s styling. I'm more of an 80s boy, and I think they could have come with a great song, but they've come with a good song or an okay song. So it's not working. It's not working for me. So non-qualifier, but love what they're doing, and I think they can have a good career for themselves.
For me, it's also it's weird. Can you move towards it? Yeah. For me, it's also a no. Someone described it yesterday in the live chat as a Disney rock, and I think that's quite accurate. It's the kind of rock songs that the Disney artists used to put, like with a little bit of distortion, but with a pop structure. And I like that. It's a great track. I just think that live and with the visuals, it's not strong enough. There's a pump missing. And I think also that these girls have a very particular friendship that we're not invited to be part of. That's how I would put it. But we can go to the next one, which is Austria.
See, Austria, for me, I would have said, oh, I don't know. But after seeing the jury show performance last night, the vocals were so much better than we've heard. And I just love the energy that these guys are bringing onto the stage. It's, you know, I'm so... I can't think what enthralled with him. I mean, he's like a big ball of energy on stage. She looked like she was having fun. You know, this is the party song for this year, and I think this will go through.
I have this as my surprise qualifier, actually. Based on what I've seen in rehearsals and in the jury show, I think the staging really works for this song, and I really like, kind of spoiler alert, the halo light that kind of surrounds Lumix and Pia Maria. And her vocals did sound really good in the jury show yesterday. And I think, you know, if she performs well tonight, I think the televote could just push her into that top 10.
Yeah, I guess that's more or less where I'm coming from. I guess I still am leaning more towards non-qualifier, but I think I've had a lot of non-qualifiers so far, so maybe there's room for this one.
You're only allowed 7.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, really for all the reasons that you said, like, it was better yesterday, and as Clara has pointed out before, it seems like the biggest issue is not necessarily that she's not hitting the notes, but it's that the vocal underneath that has a lot of processing on it, and that it doesn't blend very well, and that's what makes it not as enjoyable to listen to. But I mean, the energy's there, and the semifinal doesn't have a lot of energy, and for the most part everything around it is pretty good, so I think this could just make it through.
I agree with everything you've said, and I think yesterday we heard in the jury show we heard the best vocals Pia Maria has delivered this season.
Without a doubt,
Doesn't mean that they are the best that they could be, but I'm happy that she found the key and stayed in it, even if the higher notes of the chorus were not there. If it qualifies, I would understand why, because the recorded track is great, but as of the live, I'm on the fence about it. So we go to Iceland now.
Oh, Iceland.
That's okay. For me, this is a sure qualifier. I mean, this is just unlike anything else in this semi-final. It's got a kind of, as has been mentioned before, a common Lynette's vibe, this very chilled kind of country vibe going on. The way they perform on stage, their harmonies sound great. The colours that surround them really suit the song, and I think all of this is going to work in their favour. I think this will appeal to juries and televoters alike, and will get them in that top 10. I would be surprised if they didn't qualify.
Yeah, I'm more or less on the same page as Jess. I guess the only thing that I would think of going against this song is, again, because the semifinal is so low energy, maybe by the time we get to this one, people are going to be kind of tuned out and wanting the more up-tempo songs that we have coming later on. But nonetheless, I think that this is very elegant, and maybe has one of the better chances of those kind of lower energy songs that are in the middle and we're not totally sure if they're going to make it.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same. It's that I think. It's already been quite a chill, slow kind of semi, and this song, it takes time to grow. Like when I heard it for the first time, I was like skipping it a few times because I was not into it, and now after a whole season, I am able to enjoy it. So it's a grower, I would say, and I'm not sure if people have how many people are going to be exposed tonight for the first time to the song and are not like crazy us that have heard this song for months now. So I have it down as a non-qualifier, but if it qualifies, it would be well deserved.
Yeah, exactly that. I also have it down as a non-qualifier. I think I was more on the fence up until I watched the full run-through of the jury show last night, and kind of where the song is sitting, what it's surrounded by. I would love this to go through, but I think it will be just outside the top 10 unless juries really push this up, because for me it'll be more a jury song than a televote song. So guys, Clara's just been pulled off to go and do some other work actually, but we're going to keep talking about our semi-final predictions, and we've got Greece now. Amanda Dior di Tenfiord.
For me, this is 100% qualifying. The staging, I think, is really one of the best parts of this whole performance, with everything you see on stage, the props she has, the way that she moves around the stage, and her vocals, her emotion going into this song. I could potentially see this topping the jury vote in the semi-final. It's, for me, I mean, if it didn't qualify, it would be a crime, really.
I really don't think there's anything else I can add to what you've just said. It's so impactful, the vocals are great, the song is so classy, there's a vulnerability to her as well. I mean, this is potential jury vote winner tonight, I think.
Yeah, I am definitely seeing this going through. My only complaint is that at times it's a bit static. I wish that it had a little bit more movement, but overall, great performance vocally, engaging song, really beautiful scenery that they have on the stage with the chairs. It's a very unique idea, and I think it's providing a lot that could secure lots of jury votes, lots of televote points. I could see this potentially being a split winner of the semi-final. Maybe not getting the top mark from either, but getting just enough to be in first place.
And then next up we have 2 songs to go, Norway.
Yeah, this is going through, of course. I mean, has the perfect spot in the semi-final. It's really unique. It's a lot of fun, a lot of color, a lot of energy, and explosions of fireworks, the kind of things that people come to Eurovision for. So yeah, this is certainly going through.
Yeah, qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who thinks this isn't... No.
Keep going.
I mean, I think, since it won Melody Grand Prix, everyone's been sure that this is going to make it to the Eurovision final. And after seeing the rehearsals and the jury show, there's just no doubt that this song and this performance would never qualify, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, and last up we have Armenia.
For me, I think this is definitely qualifying. I think the staging that Rosalind has is very engaging. It's something very different that we've not really seen before in Eurovision, or at least in this year's edition. And I think she performs the song very, very well. She moves across the stage and with all of her props very well. She has great kind of presence with the camera. She sounds great. And I think it's a very kind of feel-good song that I think is the perfect closer that, for me, will appeal to jury and televote.
Yeah, the feel-good... excuse me. It is a feel-good song. I really like that aspect of it, and the moment in particular where she... Well, actually, maybe we shouldn't say because some of the audience hasn't seen it, but the ending moment when you get to that last chorus is really, really impactful. And this is going to the final, and welcome back, Armenia. It's so nice to see you back.
Yeah, loving this. Love her, love the song, love the rhythm of the song, love the staging. So this is a definite qualifier for me. I'm really happy to have an artist like this, hopefully in the Eurovision final as well, because she's a very special artist with a big career ahead of her, I think. But there we go, guys. That's all the songs from semi-final 1. That's what we think, but sometimes we get it wrong. We don't know any more than you do, and we would love to know what you think. So do let us know in the comments who you think is going to be qualifying from the semi-final tonight, go through to the final, and which are your favourite songs from tonight. We can't wait to watch the semi-final along with you guys tonight, so make sure you tune in to our live stream, and subscribe if you're new. Why haven't you done it yet? And until the next video, see ya.
Bye.
Ciao.